Hi, I'm Carlos. I work as a formulation specialist here at Aquaporin, and today I would like to welcome you to a masterclass where we'll be diving into the exciting world of polymers. Polymers are everywhere. The clothes we wear, the bottles we drink from, even DNA inside of us are all polymers. To put it in more simplistic terms, polymer is a long-chain molecule where the polymer chain is constituted of repeating units or so-called monomers. This can be even further exemplified by a beaded necklace, where the polymer chain will be representing the chain of the necklace and the beads will be representing the repeating units or the monomers. For example, polyethylene, a very commonly used polymer or plastic in shopping bags, in food wraps, and many other different applications, can be imagined as the chain of the necklace, while the beads will be representing each ethylene unit repeating 500 or even thousands of times. The term polymer has been coined by a Swedish chemist, Jöns Jacob Berzelius, in 1833, and until 1920s it has been perceived as a colloidal aggregate where the molecules had been held by weak forces in some sort of like a clump. And then in 1920s, Hermann Staudinger revolutionized the concept of the polymer and for the very first time described it as a long-chain molecule, the way we know it today. Let's clear up some common misconceptions about polymers. Many of us refer to polymers as plastics, everyday commodity items such as pipes, bags, containers, and many other different types of plastics. As a matter of fact, some of the polymers are made by nature, such as silk, cellulose, and a wide range of proteins. And researchers have made a lot of exciting polymers, such as self-healing polymers that heal together after they're being cracked, or conductive polymers that are used in flexible electronics or artificial muscles. Polymer hydrogels that are used in artificial hearts, joints, and even lenses. Isn't that quite cool? Polymers are large, rigid structures. While some of the polymers can indeed be quite rigid, some of them are also very flexible and even very brittle. Some of the polymers can form structures that cannot be seen by a naked eye, or so-called nanoassemblies. But before we go into the details of the nanoassemblies, let's have a look of how small nano actually is. So 1 nanometer is represented by 1/1000th of a meter. The red blood cell inside of our bodies ranges from 6 to 8,000 nanometers in diameter on average, while our hair is 50,000 nanometers in diameter on average. These types of nanoassemblies, they range between 20 to 200 nanometers, sometimes smaller, sometimes bigger. The assembly phenomena is extremely crucial in nature and has been part of billions of years of evolution. That's how cells communicate, that's how organisms structure themselves. For instance, the wall of the cell in the human bodies is a result of a nanoassembly. And this semi-permeable layer, or the wall, is actually the one that controls whatever comes in and out of the cell. This nanoassembly phenomena has inspired researchers to create their own synthetic alternatives, or so-called block of polymers. A block of polymer can be imagined as a string, and if we put some beads onto the string, where 1/3 of the beads will be colored red and 2/3 of the beads will be colored blue. The red part will be representing the water-loving part, and the blue part will be representing the water-hating part. So what happens if we put such a string into water? This molecule will try to maximize its interactions with water with the red part of the string and hide from it as much as possible with the blue part. And through a complex nature of nanoassembly, these types of block of polymers can form so-called nanoassemblies. These can be, for instance, hollow spherical structures, and it can be other types of range of structures that depend on the ratio between the red and the blue. These types of spherical hollow structures can be used, for instance, in nanomedicine for incorporation of pharmaceuticals, where they're delivered in a very specific location in a human body. Here at Aquaporin, we use a very similar concept where we try to stabilize our beloved aquaporin proteins in such hollow spherical structures made from block of polymers, or polymers speaking generally. Going from cutting-edge nanomedicine to everyday plastics, polymers have a lot of exciting applications. So the next time you hear the word polymer, think beyond plastic, think nano.